Okay, so are you ready to figure out once and for all which is better, Airbnb or Booking.com?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Today we're going to try to figure out which platform reigns supreme using analyses, financial reports, and some insider scoops.
Awesome.
We're going to compare everything from booking trends to commission fees.
Love it.
And we're even going to see what Wall Street thinks about their future.
Oh, that'll be good.
Get ready for a travel industry showdown.
All right, I'm excited to break this all down.
Me too.
So Booking.com, they consistently get more bookings. I mean, their marketing tactics and their retargeting is just like a booking magnet.
Wow.
They're all about volume. Airbnb, on the other hand, really focuses on the experience.
Right.
I mean, they've cultivated this almost cult-like following among some travelers. Some travelers won't even consider anything else.
Wow. Yeah, it's fascinating how they've been able to build that brand.
Yeah, totally different approaches.
Yeah, and it leads to different types of travelers.
Right?
And I think different expectations for both the guests and the hosts.
Yeah, for sure.
Booking.com, it seems to attract those who want the seamless, predictable experience.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to what they would expect from a hotel.
I see what you're saying.
But Airbnb taps into that desire for something more personalized.
Right.
Something a little off the beaten path.
Sure, yeah.
With some local flavor.
You want that local experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can lead to some really interesting dynamics.
I bet.
The research that we looked at shows that Airbnb guests, they're often more communicative with hosts beforehand.
Okay.
Hashing out all the details,
Oh, getting all the questions answered.
Yeah.
Eh.
But Booking.com guests, they might just show up
Oh, no.
with those hotel-level expectations.
Oh.
Even if they booked a rustic cabin in the woods.
Oh, my gosh.
No minibar, bad review.
I can see how that would be a nightmare for hosts.
For sure.
So it seems like choosing between the two platforms really depends on what kind of host you want to be.
Yeah.
Do you prefer just consistent bookings, even if it means a little less personal interaction and the occasional surprise guest?
Yeah.
Or are you after a more curated guest experience with more upfront communication,
Right.
even if it means potentially fewer bookings overall?
You know what else is interesting is how their expectations also play into the different review systems.
Oh, tell me more.
So Airbnb is a two-way street.
Okay.
Guests and hosts, they rate each other.
Got it.
This is very different from Booking.com, where it's guest-only reviews.
That's a great point, because it seems like Airbnb's system incentivizes both sides to be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
While on Booking.com, hosts are kind of at the mercy of guest reviews.
Yeah, they don't really have any recourse.
Yeah. So speaking of reviews, Booking.com only lets guests review the property, right?
That's right.
But Airbnb has that two-way review system.
It's true.
Do you think that changes the game?
Absolutely, it totally does.
But let's talk money.
Ew, money.
Let's talk about the financial side of things.
Yes, let's do it.
Who takes the bigger bite out of profits with those commission fees?
Right, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So Airbnb, they charge both hosts and guests.
Okay.
Although there is an option for a host-only fee that's around 15% in some areas.
Gotcha.
But Booking.com, they only charge the hosts a commission starting at 15%.
Okay.
But here's the kicker.
What's that?
Hosts can actually choose to pay more to get better visibility on the platform.
Oh, really? So they can pay to play?
Exactly. So imagine an auction for eyeballs.
Okay.
If you want your listing to be seen more, you have to be willing to pay more.
So Booking.com host could end up paying a higher commission even though the base rate is the same as Airbnb?
That's right.
That's counterintuitive.
It is, but, it makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
It all boils down to how much a host is willing to pay to get those bookings.
That's true, because empty rooms don't make money.
They do not.
All right, so then there's the whole cancellation thing.
Yes. The cancellation conundrum.
What's that all about?
So Booking.com, they tend to have more last-minute cancellations.
Okay, why is that?
Guests often don't make a financial commitment until they reserve.
Oh, so they can just back out at any time.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's got to be tough for hosts.
It is, especially during peak season when every booking really counts.
I bet, yeah. That makes a lot of sense for the guest.
Sure.
But it really puts the host in a difficult position.
Uh,
Now, Airbnb, they generally see fewer cancellations.
yeah, because they typically pay up front.
But I've heard that Airbnb's cancellation policies can be quite strict for hosts,
They can be.
leading to some pretty hefty penalties.
Yes, very true.
So it seems like both platforms have their pluses and minuses when it comes to cancellations.
Definitely.
Now, switching gears a little bit, let's talk about damage control.
Okay, damage control.
So Airbnb offers air cover,
Yes.
which provides up to $3 million in damage protection.
Right.
but I've heard it can be tricky to get those claims approved.
It is notoriously tricky.
Now, what about Booking.com?
They don't have that kind of safety net.
So if a guest has a wild party
Uh-oh.
and trashes your property,
Yeah, you're kind of on your own there.
that's scary.
Yeah.
But before we worry about those hypothetical party disasters,
Right.
let's look at these companies from an investor's perspective.
Okay.
What's going on Wall Street?
Okay, let's dive into this stock market showdown.
Right.
Both companies, they're huge players, but their financial profiles are vastly different.
Interesting.
Booking.com consistently pulls in more revenue,
Wow.
but Airbnb is all about profitability.
Okay.
And this difference is reflected in how the market sees them.
How so?
So Airbnb is often seen as a growth stock,
Okay.
but Booking.com leans towards a value stock.
So ELI 5.
Huh.
Explain it like I'm 5.
Oh, okay.
Growth stock, value stock. What do those even mean?
Okay. Imagine you're buying seeds.
Okay.
So a growth stock is like a seed with the potential to grow into this massive tree, but it's risky.
Got it.
A value stock is more like a smaller established plant. It's more predictable
Okay.
and it's already producing fruit,
Okay.
but it might not grow as much.
So Booking.com is the reliable plant that's already bearing food,
Yes.
while Airbnb is the seed that could be a towering oak, but there's a little more risk involved.
That is a great analogy.
I try.
So that's a key thing to think about for investors.
Yeah, are you looking for slow and steady, or are you looking for something that might explode?
Right. And to dig deeper into those financials,
Fees.
let's turn to the actual numbers.
Yes, let's do it.
So for starters, Booking Holdings, which is Booking.com's parent company,
Right.
they have a market cap of $153.36 billion.
Whoa, hold on. Let's break that down.
Right.
What exactly is market cap,
Sure.
and why is it so important?
Well, think of market cap as the total value of all the pieces of a giant pizza.
Okay.
Booking.com's pizza is currently bigger than Airbnb's.
Okay.
So that means that investors see the company as being worth more overall, but that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story.
So it's like saying that Booking.com's pizza has more slices right now,
Yeah.
but Airbnb's slices might be more valuable individually
Right.
or have the potential to be more valuable later on.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's unpack those numbers and see what they reveal about each company's financial health and growth prospects.
Let's do it. Okay, so Booking Holdings Pizza, with all those slices, adds up to a massive $153.6 billion market cap.
Wow, that's a big pizza.
It is, and their revenue for the last 12 months is $23.4 billion.
Wow, more than double what Airbnb is bringing in.
It is.
But bigger doesn't necessarily mean better, right?
True.
What about the profitability?
Right. Are they turning all that dough into actual profit as efficiently as Airbnb?
Exactly.
That is the question.
The million-dollar question.
So while Booking Holdings has that huge revenue,
Right.
their net income or profit for the past 12 months is $5.88 billion. Now, Airbnb, on the other hand, comes in at $2.65 billion.
So Booking Holdings is making more than double the profit, but their profit margin is actually lower.
A little bit lower.
So Airbnb is making more profit per slice, even with a smaller pizza.
That's right.
That makes them seem like a pretty savvy business,
They are.
squeezing more out of their revenue.
Exactly.
And this kind of explains why they're considered that growth stock, right?
Yes.
Investors are betting on them to keep growing those slices and making bigger, tastier pizzas in the future.
Exactly. Their focus on expanding into those new areas like experiences,
Right.
along with that high profitability,
Yeah.
makes them very attractive to those seeking explosive growth.
But remember, higher risk, higher reward,
Right.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Their stock price could be more of a roller coaster.
Yeah, compared to Booking Holdings.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that
yeah.
steady revenue stream and the diverse portfolio, makes them a value stock.
Right. So more stable,
Yeah.
slow growing,
Mm.
blue chip kind of investment.
Precisely think of it like that dependable dividend stock. Just churning out those profits.
Gotcha.
But to really understand their future, we need to look at the broader trends shaping the travel industry.
Okay. So what kind of trends should we be keeping an eye on?
Right. Are there any major shifts that could give one company an advantage over the other?
Yeah.
So one key trend is the demand for those alternative accommodations.
Oh, yeah.
Travelers are increasingly looking for unique stays that offer something different from the traditional hotel.
Like an Airbnb?
Exactly. This plays right into their strengths.
Like their bread and butter.
It is.
Their whole reason for being.
It is, but Booking.com is not just going to sit back.
Right.
They're also recognizing this shift.
Okay.
And they are very aggressively expanding their vacation rental offerings.
Makes sense. They're not going to let Airbnb just run away with that market share.
Not without a fight.
Yeah.
Another trend to think about is the rise of what they call leisure travel.
Leisure travel.
Yeah, so it's this blend of business trips with leisure activities.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's where Booking.com's platform, with flights and hotels and rental cars could give them a little edge.
So they're the one-stop shop for the leisure traveler.
Exactly. They can kind of cater to all their needs, before, during, and after that business trip.
Okay, so Booking.com has the edge. For those who want to book a flight, grab a rental car, check into a hotel, and then maybe do a cooking class before that big meeting.
Exactly.
While Airbnb might appeal to the leisure traveler who wants to spend a few extra days exploring hidden gems and those unique experiences.
You got it.
Okay.
However, both companies are facing potential headwinds.
Oh, like what?
Well, there's this increasing regulatory scrutiny.
Right.
Especially as cities are grappling with the impact of short-term rentals on, affordable housing and local communities.
Yeah, that's a huge issue.
It is a big one.
And of course, there's always the looming threat of a recession.
Right.
Travel is one of the first things to go when people start tightening their belts. Yeah.
Always. And let's not forget about the potential disruption from new tech.
Like what?
Artificial intelligence.
Right.
AI-powered travel platforms.
Yeah.
They could change the game.
Yeah.
Offering these hyper-personalized recommendations and, potentially cutting out the middleman.
Wow, the future of travel is a bit of a wild card.
It is.
It sounds like there are a lot of opportunities and challenges.
Oh, for sure.
But one thing is for sure, this battle of the booking giants is far from over.
Absolutely. It is a dynamic landscape. Both companies are constantly adapting and evolving.
That's the name of the game.
It is. And for investors, this rivalry is a fascinating case study in contrasting business models, growth strategies, and the shifting dynamics of the travel industry.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Bookings, guest interactions, commission fees, cancellation policies, damage control, stock performance, and even broader industry trends.
We've hit it all.
But I have a feeling there's even more to this story.
Oh, there is so much more.
Where do we go from here?
Well, in the final part of this episode, we'll analyze their long-term strategies and explore their potential for growth and innovation.
I'm excited.
We'll examine their investments in technologies like AI.
Okay.
And we'll see how they're adapting to the changing demands of travelers.
This is getting good.
It is.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for these travel titans.
Me neither.
All right, welcome back to the final round of our Airbnb versus Booking.com showdown.
Here we go. The final round.
We've explored their business models, their financial performance, and even those all-important pizza analogies.
Those are good.
But now it's time to look into the future.
Ooh, I love it. Let's gaze into that crystal ball and see what's next.
Exactly. What does the future hold for these travel giants?
Well, both companies are making big moves,
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to capture market share, adapt to this ever-evolving travel landscape.
It's a jungle out there.
It really is.
So whose strategy do you think is going to lead to success long-term?
Right. So let's start with Airbnb.
Okay.
They seem to be really focusing on their strengths.
Okay.
What would you say those are?
Well, those unique, personalized experiences that set them apart from that typical hotel.
Yeah. It's like they're really doubling down on that.
They are. They're leveraging their brand recognition.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, has become synonymous with a certain style of travel.
Absolutely.
They're expanding their ecosystem beyond just accommodations.
Interesting.
So think curated local tours, immersive cooking classes.
Ooh, I like that.
Maybe even exclusive events that tap into that desire for authentic, off-the-beaten-path adventures.
Yeah, it's like they're creating this whole travel universe where you can find not just a place to stay, but a way to really connect with the destination and the culture.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's brilliant because travelers crave that.
Oh,
They want those unique, shareable experiences.
especially younger generations.
Yeah.
They're driving so much growth in the travel industry. Yeah, they don't want the same old boring vacation.
Right, they're less interested in cookie-cutter vacations.
Yeah.
More drawn to those experiences that let them explore their passions, connect with local communities.
All right, but Booking.com is no slouch.
Oh, no, they're not.
They're not going to let Airbnb just run away with this market share.
No, they're not going to let Airbnb just waltz off with this new market.
How are they going to compete?
They are expanding their vacation rental offerings and investing heavily in technology.
Like what?
Artificial intelligence, or AI.
Oh, wow.
They really want to leverage their massive scale and global reach.
Right. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and they want to create a hyper-personalized, seamless travel experience that really caters to everything.
So it's like Booking.com wants to be your ultimate travel concierge,
Yes.
using AI to basically predict what you want before you even know you want it.
I know, it's like having a personal travel agent in your pocket 24/7.
And they're well positioned to achieve that.
They've got this huge database of user preferences and travel patterns.
Yeah.
This allows them to create incredibly accurate recommendations.
Oh, yeah.
And personalize every aspect of the travel experience.
So Airbnb is focused on those curated experiences.
Right.
Booking.com is all about personalized convenience.
Yes.
Seems like both approaches could dominate different parts of the travel market.
Yeah, it's true, but they also face similar challenges.
Like what?
Well, they have to navigate that evolving regulatory landscape.
Oh, yeah, all those rules and regulations.
It changes constantly. They need to address those concerns about the impact of short-term rentals on communities.
Right.
And then there's always those disruptions from emerging technologies that we talked about before.
And of course, there's the economy.
Yeah, we can't forget about the economy.
A global recession could really hurt travel spending.
It would force both companies to really rethink things.
To adapt.
To adapt. Yeah, it's a very complex and ever-changing landscape.
That's the travel industry for you.
It is.
So predicting a winner is tough.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah. But one thing is for sure.
What's that?
Both companies are pushing the boundaries of the travel industry.
They are.
They're changing the way we explore the world and experience new cultures.
And that's exciting.
This deep dive has been fascinating.
I agree.
We've learned so much about these two very different but equally ambitious companies.
We really have uncovered some interesting insights into how they work.
Yeah, their business models, their financial performance, their strategies for growth.
It's been a journey.
It has. But ultimately, the question of who will reign supreme,
The million-dollar question.
is one that only time will tell.
Exactly. And for those of you listening who are intrigued by this battle of the titans,
Yeah,
don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon
that's right.
so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of business and technology.
We're constantly uncovering fascinating stories and insights just like this one.
And we can't wait to share them with you.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.